I never really considered myself to be an intuitive person.
I would get an intuitive hit on something, but I wouldn't really feel confident enough to follow that.
In society, people don't believe that they have any level of intuition. That's not really how the majority of people are raised. So you think, oh, well, gosh, I can't do that. That's just the crazy person on the side of the street that has a sign up that says psychic, palm reader, tarot. And that's just not true.
Practicing the tarot, it's not a question of psychic abilities. It's really ultimately about just tapping into our intuition. And this is the tool for doing that.
I wanted to learn tarot because I was always curious, always was interested in that world of, felt like magic or mystery.
I am obsessive about making decisions and wrong decisions. So anything that could help me alleviate the agony of being indecisive was totally a home run in my book.
For me, I have done it for 25 years, tarot for 25 years. But I know there's gotta be more to this. Like there has to be more to this. And with spending time with Georgia, she's the cards are in her back pocket basically. And it's like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, okay, but you know this like you just know this. And she said, well, I can teach you. This is what I do.
The difference between getting a reading and learning the tarot is that when you get a reading, you're the passive participant. But when you actually learn it, then you are an active player in your life.
When I went for a tarot reading, Georgia was the one sort of the intermediary between the cards and telling me what they represented and what was happening. In the lessons, she's really encouraging my own interpretation and what do the cards mean to me? What do I think they're saying?
How do I feel about it? Is there anything that I'm gathering from it? And it was actually really interesting because just looking at the card intuitively, you really do understand that you have like sort of an inner knowledge of it before you've really even begun learning the process.
The lesson is, it's fun. So for me, handing me a book and telling me to read it because anyone can really research and get this information, it just doesn't stick. It's flat. And Georgia gives stories and they're related and you're like, oh wow, I can connect that to my life and now understand what she is trying to teach me about that card and how I can gain a knowledge of what the cards are trying to say to me in a reading.
It really is a quieting of the mind, and once we do that, I think in any practice, and this is one of those practices, just like breathing is, just like meditation is, and when we quiet the mind, we have the answers. So by teaching that, it empowers people.
Well, now that I have been learning tarot and I feel more familiar with it, I find that I'm doing cards for myself, doing spreads, and I start to trust it more as I see in my life that it's working, that things are going smoothly for me, that decisions that were so hard to make, I can make more easily.
Whenever I have a question that's coming up or something that I'm not sure about, I'll sit down in a quiet space and ask the question, and then I will start just pulling cards for myself and seeing like, what is the message here? Is there something that I'm missing? Is there any sort of clarity that I can get around this situation? So it's been really helpful with that.
These are God-given gifts that we all have, and by tapping into them, we just live, more as we were divinely created.